Okay, welcome back to ceramics. Today we're going to be working with about a 4-pound piece of wedge clay, and we're going to be making test tiles using the wheel to do our test tiles. So of course you're going to have your splash pan, your bucket of water, your basic tools like a sponge, needle tool, your rib tools, and so forth. So you want to have all your tools handy, ready. Get your piece of clay, have a bat that's a large enough size bat to work with for what we're going to be making. Alright. Now, just like before, you're going to want to cone, compress, keep your seat close. I'm using a towel here to help keep me extra clean, but keep yourself close, keep your elbows in and tight. Start bringing that clay up. And give that slight little angle, bring it back down. Column up. Remember, try not to get a mushroom. If you get a mushroom, you're going to end up pulling the whole piece off the bat or pulling the bat off the wheel. And then we're going to bring it back down. Okay. I recommend doing that about 5 to 8 times. Okay. Make sure you use that slip and slurry. I'm going to push that clay down. Water on that surface, get that clay down, and start to open it up. Now what our goal is to make, to drill straight down to the bat and make like a big giant donut. And from that donut, we're going to pull up a wall, and we'll be able to slice that and create our test tiles for the wheel, for our glazes. Okay, so I got the width that I want. Okay, I brought out the clay as wide as I want, so now I'm going to drill down. This is probably more clay than I really needed. I'm going to start to pull that clay towards my body. And I get softer at that edge to get those two pieces of clay, because it kind of formed a ring, to kind of blend together nice and smoothly without separating or getting torn apart. I'm going to drill again down. And you can start to see I'm hitting the bottom of the bat, and I'm going to start to pull that clay out to the outside walls. And just take your time, don't try to grab all the clay all in one shot. And that's that giant donut ring shape I was talking about. Compressing it down. Get a lot of that excess water out. Okay. Alright, so I want to keep a wide bottom, so I got this about 1 inch apart, 1.5 I would say. Almost 2 inches. Alright, so 2 would be a good number, 1.5. Anywhere in that range, you're in a good spot. Okay, and now I'm going to not go straight to the bat. I'm going to start to push the clay together and leave about a pinky thickness at the bottom for my base. Okay, so I'm going to start with the outside. I'm going to start to push it in. You're going to see that I start to bring that ring up. I'm going to go with the inside. Again, I'm not hitting the bat. I start to squeeze that ring up a little bit. Okay. And I want to leave that thickness right there. You see how I'm creating that thickness there? Trying to clean it so you can see it nice and easily. So I have a nice little thick ring here, and I'm going to create a thick ring in there, and I'm going to just work with the clay in between. Push that down a little. Nice and slow, nice and steady. Always leave it a little thicker at the top, just a little bit on that lip. If it feels like it's opening up a little wide on you, you're going to just take your hands and kind of guide it in a little bit. That was just a feel to feel where it's thick and where it's thin. I have a nice flat rib here, so I can make it more vertical and straight. So I'm going to take my rib. I actually want that little bit of rounded side. Okay. That's a nice little shape there. The same on the inside. Getting a little bit more of a 90 cut, sharper edge. Okay, that's looking nice and good. Feeling my thicknesses. I'm going to come back with my metal rib here, and we'll get rid of the lines on the exterior. So I'm just smoothing that down. And for my ribs, for my test tiles, I like to have a nice smooth surface so I can see how the glaze behaves on a smooth surface. On the inside, I'm going to create a texture using some slip. So that'll be fun. So I'm going to add some slip on the inside. And then at the end of the video, I'll have some photos that you can see some samples of these finished with some test glazes. So I made a nice good slip, nice consistency here. I'm going to just lightly start applying it to the interior. And you can be as fancy as you want with this, or simple, just simple vertical lines or vertical marks while it's spinning. Creates a nice texture that you can see how the glaze will break, pull, run on a textured surface versus the smooth side. So you get a nice sample. Okay, that looks good to me. I'm pretty happy with that, maybe a little bit more. That streak. There you go. That looks good. Nice good chunks in there too. Clean that bottom. You want these to be close to about 6 inches tall. That's why I used about 4 pounds right now, just to let you know. We're about 5 inches right now. I should have measured it. I could have made this a little bit taller, but because remember, it's going to shrink in the firing, so you need to have a substantial enough height so you can see how the glaze behaves. And that's it. And then after that, we'll take it, let it dry, cut it off the bat, slice it into vertical strips, and put a hole in it if you want to hang it with a chain or a piece of string or anything like that. You can add those little details if you need it. Alright, well, thanks for joining us, and I'll see you on my next video. Take care.